Hello.
Hello, Vanshika. How are you?
It's really nice meeting you. Raina, right?
Raina.
Raina. Okay.
Raina. Yes.
I'll have to
It's
make another
it's
select.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
so Raina,
Raina.
if you spell it slightly differently, it means queen in Spanish.
Okay.
So, Vanchika, I like to think that I'm the queen of property business in here in UK, but it's a real pleasure to meet you, actually.
It's really nice meeting you, Raina. And first things first, I would really like to thank you, for taking your time out to this first edition of VAS United's podcast, where we invite strategic partners like you, Raina, the queen of the properties, right? To discuss all the global opportunities of the real estate market and all the trends which influences the development strategy. So before just jumping on to the main part of the project, I would love to know about you. How did you start with LH1 Global?
Oh.
And I'm really curious to know as well, like how you and Ben got connected and how that relationship shaped the vision of LH1 as we know it is today. So would really love to know that first.
Okay, well, that's really interesting. I'm not sure if I can tell you all of that confidential information
Yeah.
on a podcast that's going to go out on social media, Vanshika, but afterwards I'll let you know. No, I'm joking. Look, yeah, we're quite an interesting sort of couple, really, because Ben and I, he's the founder of LH1 Global. He happens, luckily for him, also to be my husband. So what I like to think is that we're a bit of a dynamic power couple, because not only are we married,
Right.
and we've just been married for 12 years, but we're also in business together. And Ben founded the business 7 years ago. He was in property historically. And he realized that there was a sort of void in the market to bring in this type of model that we do as an off-plan property consultancy at LH1 Global. So the interesting thing is not only being husband and wife. I mean, I'm very old, Vanshika, so I've got like a big story, a lot of things to tell. And historically, I was in events and PR,
Okay.
and I've done huge, exciting things like lots of celebrity events. You look very young, but have you heard of Rod Stewart, the singer?
I might have heard
Rod
of him.
Stewart. He sings Maggie May and things that I Am Sailing and things like that. Well, anyway, he's a very famous Scottish singer, actually, but he's famous throughout the world. And I once booked him for a billionaire's party in the
Oh,
Bahamas. And Rod Stewart flew in on his private plane and everything. And it was a very lavish affair. So, because my background was events and PR, that means that I bring a slightly different vibe to this property industry. And
okay.
also, dare I say it, because I'm a woman, let's get it straight. Women are the people that choose the properties normally. It's a woman that would always put a feminine touch into a home, and we're selling homes,
I
you
would
know?
always agree to this statement which you made, right, Reena. I would always agree because in this world, to be very honest, in this patriarchy world, we have to admit this that women are the one who build home, right? You can buy a property, you can buy a building, but we are the ones who build home, right? So that's what's important. I really like that.
Yeah, so I think that's what, by bringing a feminine touch into the property industry, which actually really historically has always been predominantly male dominated.
Okay.
I am probably one of the only women in UK that's in a leading position as a CEO of our type of industry. So, to give you an overview of LH1 Global, what we do is we're like a sales and marketing partner. So, we work with developers fully exclusively, whether that be in the UK or overseas. We have a fantastic project which I'll come to in Malaysia, which is like phenomenal. So we take these developments fully exclusively, and we work with the developer to promote those developments and give investors all over the world the opportunity to buy a product that they wouldn't normally get the opportunity. They're buying at the beginning at an affordable price, and then they watch this project being built during the build cycle, and they watch whilst that is going on. Obviously, the value is going up, but they buy at an affordable price, and once the project is completed, or even in some instances before it's completed, they can get a rental return. And we are seeing buyers literally from every continent in the world. And that's what I love about this business. It gives you the opportunity to travel. You know, here am I. I'm actually currently in Spain, but my business is in UK. You are in India. What a delight to be able to work in harmony with our brothers and sisters throughout the world.
Definitely. It's amazing, Rayna. Now, let's just come up to the exciting part of the podcast, sale. Like Malaysia, the sale, the project, would love to know the vision about the sale, right? What is the idea behind this beautiful, phenomenal project? Like I looked at the photographs of it. I mean, it's phenomenal. Like it is the right word for it. So would love to know the vision behind this project and some sort of overview, the layout, everything about it.
Well, I can tell, Vanshika, that you've actually looked at it, because it's quite difficult to describe this development in words, but I would do my best. But really what we need is an image of the sale so that people could really truly visualize it. So for the benefit of the listeners, the sale is based in Malacca in Malaysia. It will become one of the next iconic buildings of the world, and it's modeled. It reflects a ship. That's why it's called the Sale, and it consists of 9 towers. It's actually going to be taller than the Burj Al Arab in Dubai and taller than the Eiffel Tower in Paris. And as synonymous as these iconic buildings are throughout the world, the Sale, remember that will become an iconic building of the world. So 9 towers, but those consist of predominantly apartments and hotel suites. The visionary behind it is the developer is called Shanghai International. Now, interestingly enough, Vanshika, they were founded by a woman. There's a lot of feminine traits here. So the lady that founded Shanghai International, she is Malaysian, and she's actually a Dato, which means she's been bestowed a title in her own country because she regenerates and has rescued abandoned projects. So she's actually known as the Iron Lady of Property in Malaysia, which is great because I feel she's a visionary. So she's a bit like some of the wonderful visionary leaders that we've seen in different countries throughout the world. For Malaysia, she's leading the way to the future, a better, brighter future. And by investors are now getting the opportunity to buy a hotel suite now or buy an apartment. It's before it's built, but they will also get a rental return immediately that they purchase. And listen, it sounds crazy, but it's a cash purchase, but it's an affordable purchase. So I always say it's a bit like buying a Rolls Royce, but at a mini price, or maybe even a tuk-tuk price. You have tuk-tuks, don't you?
Yeah, we do.
I don't know how much your tuk-tuks are, but it's the comparison. I mean, you have beautiful buildings. You've got the Taj Mahal, so the Sale will become a building that will be accessible to all, but investors that are visionaries of the future that want to get involved in something that's like the new next exciting thing, now's the opportunity to get involved. And they can immediately get a rental return on their investment, because obviously the project's not due to finish till 2030, but it's an extensive project. It's going to it will be part of Southeast Asia's largest regeneration site. And it's a phenomenal opportunity for people that want to get involved in the next exciting development of the world, really.
I was actually just, imagining the sale being the ninth wonder of the world because, it would be, it's taller than Eiffel Tower, it's just like, Taj Mahal of Malaysia, like, could it be the ninth wonder of the world, Reina? I would love to know that.
Well, I think everything in
Maybe
life
there's
is possible.
nine towers also.
Yes,
Just
precisely.
connecting dots.
9 towers, and because they're shaped like a ship, and they overlook the Straits of Malacca, which is actually one of the busiest shipping channels in the world. So every ship that goes past the Straits of Malacca to go to China has to pass Malacca. But could it be a ninth wonder of the world? Well, yes, because do you know what, Vanshika? Vanshika, if you dream big, you can make it happen. You can reach the stars if you truly believe. So for me, I'm used to also marketing properties in UK. So we have lots of developments in United Kingdom, which are also great opportunities for investors to get on board. But when we were invited by Shanghai International to become their sort of global sales and marketing partner, us at LH1 Global, for me, it was a true honor because I thought, there's going to come a day when I'm going to be able to say to my grandchildren, look, Nana was involved in the sale of the sale. We actually filmed a little documentary, Vanshika, about because we visited Malaysia, which is a beautiful country, actually, and one that everyone should visit in the same way that everyone should come to India. So we've got a mini documentary that we put together called Selling the Sales. So I'll have to share it with you because I'm sure your audience would like to see it and they would be very interested.
Would really love that, Reina. Moreover, like, let's just talk something about the project, about the phases of the project, like how much milestones we have achieved so far, and like by what, timeline this project is going to be completed. And also, is it the right time for investors to invest in the sale? That too.
Well, that's a very, very, very good questions. We visited Malaysia, we visited Malacca, the site of the sale earlier this year, and they've already completed 2 phases of the development. So they have the sales gallery there, and the sales gallery is not just some small room. It's actually a 3-story building with its own ballroom, show apartments within there, and so on and so forth. They've also built all the retail shops, which is going to become Malacca's first duty-free zone, for duty-free region. So the next phase will commence this year, phase 3, which is when they actually start building the towers. The whole development of the sale is due to complete in 2033, but some of the towers will be ready earlier. They will complete in 2030. Is it a good time to buy? Look, fortune favors the brave. There is no time like the present. I always say to people, it's a bit like if I'm sure you've heard of Harrods in London, the famous retail store. I always say that if I saw a dress in the window and then I went away and thought, I'm not sure, that by the time I've made the decision, the dress could have been sold. So there is no time like the present to make the decision and proceed with a purchase right here, right now, because this development, once it's sold, there won't be any more apartments left. So it will be the opportunity for the people that get in at the beginning are the people that are going to truly benefit from the capital growth, and B, obviously the return. And of course, to have the opportunity to say, I own an apartment or a hotel suite in one of the world's most iconic buildings, it gives you a huge sense of pride.
Talking about ROI, right? Since you said that it gives a huge, return on investment. So let's just dive into that, like, because as per investors, it's always about, returns and returns. So how much are we expecting in terms of, like, capital gains, or, in terms of investment gains?